Let's kick it off. Tolleson-Mack, you ready, Craig? Tolleson-Mack, here we are. We have, I don't know, we've kind of jumped into 2026. We've had a couple of some pretty good interviews. We had Dave Moats, and we had a guy with the name that Gary Green was with us. And we are honored today to have him back by himself and talk about more of his career and what he does and what he's done. And reflect back on a few things, on some hazing stories, some bulldogging stories, some tripping stories. But first and foremost, we want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank Turtle Box because, number one, they got a great product. Number two, we as team ropers in the outdoor world, we like to go out and listen to our tunes, no matter what it is, from Snoop Dogg to Frank Sinatra. We don't care. But while we're roping and think that we're cool, we turn on some Turtle Box. We make sure that it's in a spot where, well, it can be in any spot where you can hear it still, but we make sure that we get it down there where we can really zone in on that Turtle Box shit and make it happen. But thank you. Best Ever Pads, we can't forget you. Fastback Rope, somewhere in the cap right now, but Best Ever Pads, TW Dub and Ryan, we appreciate you guys for making cool shit. And Fastback, thank you for all you do. Coy, Mama Terry, all you people, we appreciate everybody.
Big shout out Hoof Grip.
Hoof Grip. Thank you,
Yep.
Hoof Grip.
Let's get into it.
All
So,
right,
Britt, before we jump in this real quick, so you introduced me to Gary like, a year ago? Was that when I first met you?
A little over, yeah.
A year ago. Mm-hmm. So since then, you came over and had to do a couple saddles and clean up everything for me. But, and then you told me that you were NFR and all that stuff, and we're talking about it. But since then, like, I've heard about, your name has been brought up like 3 different times, 3 different podcasts. So like I have a lot to talk to you about. I kind of took you for granted a little bit in the beginning when I met you, but I didn't realize
you didn't know.
I didn't know. But no, it's cool that I got to hear these podcasts about you. So I kind of had some interest, of deep into these stories of what I heard, and I'm happy you're here.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm happy too, my bro.
Oh, I'm always happy to be with you, Britt. Double B.
A little bit about Gary Green. How many time qualifiers?
7.
7 times national finals qualifier in the Bulldogger. Back when the Bulls bucked. But that was starting in what year?
82.
Oklahoma City.
Last 3 years, yeah.
82, 3, 4.
Yes, sir.
And then from there to Vegas.
Yes, sir. 4 times.
Nice.
that's awesome to be able to go to both places.
That's pretty cool.
That is
dude.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
pretty.
That's like before internet and after internet. You had both. You know what I mean? Like that's how we're gonna look at it. That's real cool.
You had late internet. Man.
Men's and the boys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
You had dial up then.
yeah.
Yeah.
You had
well.
to. You had a pretty good score at Oklahoma City, and it was not right at Vegas.
Yeah.
So.
The arena size was a little bit bigger, right, in Oklahoma?
Oh yes,
Quite a bit bigger.
Oh yeah, it was 70 feet longer.
Oh, dang.
Tell me where you're from. Where you born? Where was you raised? Did you go to high school rodeos? What's up? Tell me more.
I was born in Kansas.
Okay.
We high school rodeo. We didn't have back then. We didn't have the qualification rodeos all year long. You had one finals. That was it. You had one chance to make the national. So, but then I ended up moving to. Actually, I moved to Cincinnati, Ohio, for about 5 years. Worked at thoroughbred racetracks. My dad trained horses for a lot of years, so that's how I got back there. And ended up being a racing official back there. And then I ended up going to Louisiana because he went down there. And my brother Jeff was down there. So.
Kansas ranch raised?
Excuse me?
Was you in Kansas? Were you ranch raised on a ranch there?
Not really a ranch, no. My dad trained roping horses, and he rodeoed, and my older brother rodeoed. And no, he was a truck driver.
What was the town?
You rope
in Kansas?
first or bulldog first?
The town.
Lawrence,
Lawrence.
mostly. I went to high school in Baldwin City, right outside of Lawrence. But
Did you try to rope or bulldog first
rope.
as a kid?
I tied down my first calf when I was 12 years old. Yeah,
Okay.
I love roping.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And then from roping, you decided because who? Maybe your brother Jeff?
Well, we got to Baldwin and got down there in high school, and we just, Dad was off racing horses, and there was nobody. I had a neighbor who lived in the next town, Wellsville, Dale Bruckheisen. He had 2 boys and a daughter, and they rodeoed. And he bulldog roped calves, and they team roped. So showed quite a bit of interest. So he would let me come and practice after school. Lunches back then were 35 cents. So I would get 70 cents from Mom every morning to eat 2 lunches because I like to eat quite a bit.
Oh, does he ever?
But so I would pay him 35 cents a run, so I get to go run 2 steers every night.
Oh wow.
And about a week or so went by, and he seen I was pretty serious. He says, "Oh, okay. How about you come clean some stalls, do this and that? I'm not going to take your lunch money for the rest of the school year."
70 cents. That's pretty.
Yeah, but then got into a little bit of college and went back to the thoroughbred tracks back in Ohio for a few years, and then ended up going back to Louisiana when in 1980, an amateur there. Kind of got back in the groove.
Which, I mean, they say, and I agree too. I mean, I know that because I was in Okie and I did a little bit of maybe an hour and 20 minutes for the bigger part of my life. But yeah, Shakota is the steer wrestling probably capital of the world. The Duvals have made it famous, and Oat, who moved from Nebraska, has made it famous. But there's several guys that you can't take anything away from wonderful bulldog and talent. But I will say this too, from the Winston Fry, several others, Duhan, Mark, another boy that was, but there's several. I think, in fact, I'd like to see, in which they might do it at Duval's, but you get some boys from Louisiana and you got 10 of them against 10 boys from, let's just say, Shakota, or if they're from Shakota. Them boys from Louisiana, from Mike Smith to all of those guys, Herbert, I've never seen anything like it, and they're big. They're big, and they normally bulldog good. So
Mike Smith, John
Wags
Fontenot.
John Fontenot.
Joey Roberts.
Wags. I forgot about Joey. He scared the piss out of me one time.
He's a big boy.
Large man.
And, of course, they all rodeoed with me and rodeoed on our horses, and Steve, and there was a lot of them. But we did 1 year, I think we did Oklahoma, Texas.
Yeah.
Back when I moved there, I think it was Byron, myself, Butch, maybe Tommy Puryear.
Byron Walker and Butch Myers. Who? Tommy who?
Puryear.
I don't know him.
Yeah, he was a world champ. Very good.
So why did Louisiana maybe breed bulldoggers? Was there
Well,
someone that started?
I mean, they had it, but
they did. They bred
when we got over there, we kind of enticed them. I had some schools, and John and Joey and Trey Hands, Muds,
shitload of
Mike Smith, they all come to my schools.
Oh, cool.
And kind of got them kicked off. And then, of course, Joey didn't make him his rookie year, but John and Mike both made him their rookie year. We actually had 7 rookies, Jeff and I, as my brother. He was the best hazer ever. But we had some good horses, but that hazer made the difference.
I agree.
You can take a mediocre horse and make him a bulldog horse if you've got a great hazer over.
Okay.
So,
cool.
But we've had 7 rookies. Myself, Duhan, Doug Houston, Sean Morton. Of course, Mike Smith won it to rookie year, but John was right there too. He made the finals, and Joey was right behind him. Trev, what was that boy's name? I can't think. I think he does something up there at Steamboat now. He was a world champ. But we helped a lot of young guys get started, which I was fortunate enough to have some people help me on my way up. A couple of gentlemen there in Louisiana. Fred Dennington has passed away, and Harold Nations, who both passed away now, but they sponsored me my rookie year, or late in my rookie year. We tried to do it on my own, but wasn't going too good, and I had a chance to win it, and we were actually competing with John W. Jones. He was rookie the same year I was, but they helped me get through that year, and I ended up barely beating Johnny, and he ended up winning an all-around rookie, and I won the steer wrestling.
Cool. That was what year?
81.
The first year you made them?
No, I didn't make them. I ended up 16th.
Oh, I understand that too.
Yeah.
So back then, did you have your own horse, or were you mounting out on a lot of these
No, I was
bulls?
mounting out. I went with Byron and Randy Vaughn during the winter,
Chico.
and we got to go because Jeff Hayes pretty good, so Byron wanted Jeff around hazing all the time.
Byron Walker?
Byron Walker.
All right.
The probably in my words, probably the best bulldogger ever.
Byron Walker?
Yes, sir.
You're fucking kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you.
I mean, I love Byron Walker. I love Waterhead.
But
Shout out to Waterhead, but I don't. Tell me more.
He just.
I might have.
If he got on the best horse at every rodeo, they wouldn't have.
And look, I'll give a brief history of Bone and I's relationship. Well, Mudbone, it is Gary Green, a.k.a. Mudbone. So I met him via Ron Pack, Tough Hedeman. We had some schools at Ron Pack's in Stephenville, and that had to have been 90. I was roping with Charles that year, so that had been 97 or 8 or 9. So anyway, but I've known Mudbone since then, and I'm honored to be able to maybe call him one of my best friends, and it's a good thing to have because Bone's always Bone. He hasn't changed a day in his life. Do anything in the world for you. If like I said, if I called him and I was in Pakistan tomorrow, and I had a flat and bag and Abdullah couldn't come pick me up, but Bone would.
Yeah.
Bone would he'd just say where and when, and I'll get there in a few days, and then he'll pause a long time on the phone. He won't say a fucking thing. And you're like, he's gonna say anything, and then he'll say something. But we've been friends a long time. But the reason I ask him that because we've been in the truck many a times or places from here to Vegas to that we could banter with each other. But I want to hear why Byron Walker's the best bulldogger you think ever.
Oh, this is talent. He studied it. He studied, Roy. He studied Tommy Purrier. He studied all them guys, and
Okay.
he had some decent horses. He had
He had the fireman. I remember that one.
Yeah, he had Skeeter. Skeeter was the first one I knew of,
Okay.
but then but anyway, he just pride of ownership. He kind of would ride his own if he'd
Yeah, I agree with that.
If he'd have got on,
Better.
he just didn't. But he was awesome.
So I was listening to
He was awesome.
Oh shit.
the Charlie.
John W. Barn.
Yeah, I didn't get to see John W. run that.
Barn.
many.
Barn.
But control, yeah. But I mean, I think of powerhouses. I
And
mean,
then of course Steve.
of course, Steve. Yeah.
So when I was listening to this Charlie, podcast, and he was talking about we had all three of those guys on, Oatberry and Duvall and what was the third, John W. You got brought up a lot in there. What I was kind of intrigued by the whole deal was it was like a system. It was like these guys followed this horse, and that guy that owned the horse would just bounce to these rodeos for the benefit of him making money on these guys riding and stuff like that. You just said that your brother was a real good hazer, so some guys wanted him to show up just to haze for them.
Oh yeah.
So there was what I'm saying is there was multiple avenues I see in the bulldogging where people could make money. I mean, you could own a horse and like Alfalfa did, and and have all these guys mount on your horse, or you could be like your brother, an excellent bulldog hazer, or you know what I'm saying. Like that was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if that happens these days, but
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I as
we,
far
we
as
didn't we didn't have the we didn't have the pocketbook like I had. Just said the one guy helped me for my rookie year and stuff, whatever. But we ended up buying a horse, the sorrel horse, Jimmy, and how we got him bought. We sold seats.
seats.
Yeah, the one main guy that bought a seat was Bob Bonzel, and
Sold the seat to what, the rodeo?
he didn't have to pay no 25%.
Oh, you sold the seat on the horse. I'm
Seat
with you.
on the
I
horse.
got you, bro. I got.
So
Oh,
he gave us the
okay.
10,000 to buy the horse. He had to ride him free until the finals.
Until the finals.
And then he had to pay us. And he ended up making the finals twice.
So he time shared in a nice way.
Yeah.
So after that 10,000, when he made the finals, then you got money at the finals.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
And the 10,000 was just for the first year.
I got you.
So
Wow.
that's how we bought him. And Steve ended up winning 2 world championships. And they won, I think we won Cheyenne on him 4 times, 5 times.
Golly.
They've set the arena record on him a couple times.
What made him great?
You could not run one underneath him.
So if they come to the left, he's moving over.
Yes, sir. Greatest horse in Cheyenne ever, because you could just get out there and shut one
It
off.
scares me to death. I just watch.
Because they're going to run.
Oh God, they
Jeff could get out there and shut them off, and he would read the cow for you, and he would let you get your feet on the ground.
most of the time on the fence because it was close.
Not kind of. Yeah, I mean, it was straight.
I'll tell you what, they can talk about the bulldogging at Pendleton and other places, but to me, the bulldogging at Cheyenne was it looks so fucking dangerous.
My first one there. Oh my God, I was a rookie riding Byron's horse, Skeeter, and his dad was hazing, and we're going down through there and we're busting it, brother. And I don't see Whitey Bob was his name, Byron's dad. I don't see Whitey Bob nowhere, but I can hear him. Wait. And we're getting close to the steer. I was, wait, hell. I jump and I barely catch the left horn, and we do some assholes over at the tide. Boom, 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 down the range. I'd lose the steer, whatever. But that was, oh man, I tore up some shit.
So with that horse, even though he's good, so they won't move in front of him. But do they get to a point where they're just running, and no matter what you're doing here, of course you're not pulling on one, but just say you want to choke up a little bit or gauge his speed, let's just say 20 foot or 15 foot before your approach. Is there any woe to him at all?
Oh,
They're just fucking blowing.
I don't know. I never rode him.
Let them go.
Told him
Man.
because I knew
Until you got to a point, and then you said, "Okay, I got to get down on the hip."
I ended up winning Cheyenne on the horse.
Cool, man.
So he was Steve won it on him.
Wow.
But yeah, you could just throw it to him, brother.
How long was that horse's career?
I got him. I bought him late. I bought him from a barrel racer. Actually, a steer wrestler with his wife, barrel racer, Thurman Russell and Brenda Russell. But they bought him for her to run barrels on. But they ended up we would bulldog on him too. But she let me lease him at the end of '84 NFR, and that's when I bought him. Right after that, and we hauled him in '85, '86. Steve won the world. '87,
What did he cost when you bought him?
$10,000.
Oh my god.
That was a lot back then, right? I mean, that was.
Oh, a lot back then, yeah.
Yeah.
For a bulldogging horse, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So bought him in '80. At the end of the '84 season, '85. Rode him '85, '86, and then we bought Reverend. And Reverend was cool. I don't know if y'all ever remember Mesquite, big time TV on. It was on TV every week, you know.
Is that the Donnie Gay's dad and all that?
Mesquite rode it. Well, the opening had different things going on, but there's this bulldogger, this horse, that would buck off the steer wrestler because he didn't get off. He'd try and go by. And
I've heard about that.
He'd buck him off. That was Reverend.
Heard about that. That was almost like the other guy's big yellow horse. They'd have a hard time riding. I remember when Mike Smith. Everybody wanted to see
You talking
Mike.
about Yellow Dog?
Yeah, everybody wanted to see them guys get off, but the guys that didn't ride very good, and nothing against it because I don't want no problems. But sometimes when they wouldn't get off the yellow horse, he'd get to the back and you'd be like, something's gonna happen.
Oh, shit.
He thought he was going to run through the back fence. You swear he was going to run through the back, but he'd turn.
Yeah.
Busted.
I remember Jimmy just, telling most of them guys, it's better to get off of him.
And that was the way with Reverend.
Better to get off of him.
But there was an IRA guy bought him. He's been several, and I'd seen the horse, and Benny Craig, big IRA guy. He went to Roy's one year, won both rounds in average.
Yeah.
I just thought the horse was too big. I didn't really like him, but man, he just showed a lot of talent. Well, I ended up these guys were getting bucked up mainly, because the Hazen was getting a little shaky, and Clarence LeBlanc. You remember Clarence?
Very well.
He told a story one time about he got off and was going to get back on, and he went to pull back up, and he said, the Reverend just kind of looked at him right in the eye. He said, go ahead. And Clarence said, I just bailed. But so anyway, Red kept telling me, you need to buy this horse. So we were at Byron's Jackpot in the spring. He brought him to me. I said, all right, I'm going to take him on. He'd been turned out. I rode him a couple of weeks, getting him legged up and stuff, and we took him to the practice pen, and I ran one, and man, he felt great. And I told Jeff, I said, we got to find out. I mean, we got to make a living, because there was another horse I really wanted from a friend of mine in Stephenville, Lloyd Hodges. He had a horse named Jocko. He was awesome too. And so I need to know, make sure this horse is going to work. So I got me one of them Hazen sticks. And I said, Jeff, just kind of let him float off her to the right a little bit. And I'm going to act like I'm going to get off. I'm going to pull back up. Well, when I did, he just dropped his head. And when he did, I just caught him right in the belly with that whip and just made him run to the back end. Shit, he just took off.
You got him dead in the middle of that.
Yeah. And so I run him again. I just run him to the back end. They were all trying to clamp up on him and pull him up and stuff.
Hanging a spur in his...
And that's when they'd buck him off. So we pretty much, of course, we never had to really worry about it because of Jess Hazen. And, there wasn't too many guys that rode by.
Shout out, Jeff. Shout out to Jeff, brother.
Oh, he was the best, man.
He rocked. He's quiet. He's fun.
Right. He could ride a burro.
Yeah, and he's not just a huge man. He's not like Bone was or is, because...
Merely made the finals once. He was a good bulldogger.
Yeah, he was a good bulldogger and a great hazer.
He was 2.9 3 times. I'm 3-1 as fast as I ever. But
wow. That's crazy cool. And I'll tell you another thing too. Well, Bone or Jeff, but those guys in the bulldogging too, when they'd have their team, but they for the most part weren't idiots when Jeff was handling them. Mm-hmm. They were there. They were always, whether Jeff had that touch, and which he does, but they were always more calm than most bulldogging horses. All mane and tail's pretty booted. Normally shinier and shit. So yeah, Jeff handles shit.
Yeah. But you were talking about the guys following different horses.
Yeah.
The one year after I got Reverend, I did all the entering. Everybody say, "Where's Moan?" He's on page 13, which was the entering page in this journal.
Yeah.
But I would enter 12 guys, three different partner groups.
Wow.
The truck I was in, the truck Jeff was in, and then the guys that just kind of flew around and drove around. So I had to enter 12 guys all winter to try and get them up accordingly so they could be riding my horse.
That's amazing because that's a whole science in its own, right?
Oh,
I mean,
shit, yeah.
when I was listening to that podcast in Alfalfa, he would say, I would draw different guys at different times because someone's going to get the best draw or the best hit or something, but they had to be at the top, and he would am I making sense by what I'm saying?
Absolutely. In the winter rodeos back then, they would sort the cattle in pens. So you wanted to get in a pen with good bulldoggers because they're going to have first, second, third, and fourth runs on them. So you might get a second and third run or a first and fourth run, but you wanted somebody that was going to throw them steers down every time. You didn't want somebody to turn them loose or running by them. So you wanted to try and get entered up in those groups.
Yeah.
Plus, I had three different sets of four to enter.
Wow.
And we didn't have payphone. We didn't have cell phones and stuff. We had payphones and stuff.
That's hard,
Absolutely. I'm laying in the back seat. We're driving down the interstate, and I jump up. I kind of took a nap or whatever and just kind of jumped up, opened the paper up, and I said, "Find a phone." We're in the middle of the interstate. Yeah. So
everybody else, you guys pull up to a spot, and everybody else is having fun. You're on the damn phone.
Yeah.
You're doing all the work.
We get to a station and pull up, and I missed the books at San Antonio by 2 minutes.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, that's Duhan, myself, Bob.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, I'm talking about. They weren't happy with me.
Oh, shit.
But I cut it a little too close that time. But yeah, it was fun. It was Jeff did the hazing, I did the intern, and of course, motivational. I was for everybody. I didn't care. I mean,
today.
We wanted to win. It didn't matter. We'd show up at a rodeo performance and have 10 guys. We'd four guys in our truck. And we had a bug shield on our truck called Devastation Incorporated. Because we were pretty
Remember the
devastated.
Bug Shield days, dude?
Yeah, on the front of it.
Yeah.
Pretty devastated.
Incorporated.
Yeah, man, they weren't the one that were aerodynamic either.
Yeah, just straight up. Different colors.
Yeah, amber rose.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, so the guys that mounted out, so you could look at it two ways, so the guys that would mount on the horses, you would have to give up whatever percentage, 25% of what you want or whatever. But if you added that up, it's probably a big number, but not as for buying a horse and having a trailer and having a rig out there. When you don't have a horse and you're mounting out, I think that 25% or whatever it is a pretty good deal considering you can move a lot cheaper just by yourself.
Oh,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? In a car.
The only thing they got charged was their percentages of fuel.
Oh, okay, so you got fuel on top of that as well. Then.
So that's all it cost them.
Yeah, I mean that's
a fourth of the fuel, and if you want something, you pay something.
Yeah.
Tommy Pryor told me one time, 3/4 of something's a hell of a lot better all or nothing.
That's very true. Yeah.
So how much money, how many dollars won to make your first finals before you went?
Before I went,
Your qualifying dollars.
the first year I made them,
Yeah.
in '82, man, I don't know, 16,000 maybe. I was in the top 5 about every year. Never won the world championship.
Was it consecutive 7? Or was there a break in between?
No.
Seven.
7 straight.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. That's a groove, that's like a heater, you know what I mean, for a career. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's real cool.
And one year at the finals, we had 7 of the 15 on our horse.
Wow.
Or Jimmy and Reverend. Steve rode Jimmy until he was done. He didn't like Reverend.
So when you would leave the finals with that many guys riding after those 10 days, I mean, what would that mount money look like for you? I mean, would that be like almost as much as you would win normally or more? I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds like it'd be a lot more, especially with the talent you had on your horses.
Yeah, there were several times we were close to $100,000
And that's
back then.
what I mean. And you made the finals at 16,000.
Well, not that but once you got to Vegas, I never rode my own horse in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I rode my first year. I rode Champ, the little bay horse, and then I rode Larry Ferguson's horse Turkey, which was very, very good. That's John W. won a world championship on him. I think that year, me, John W., Jimmy Cooper, and gosh, the California boy went all around. Anyway, I think we won the first 4 holes in the average on Turkey.
See, that's like almost like a benefit of what you're out there competing plus getting money for your horse. I mean, you're double dipping.
We had to.
Yeah.
We had to keep going down the road because Jeff and I both entered.
He did say that.
So, normally he won enough to pay his fees.
But you said 7 out of the 7 people on your horse out of 15.
Yeah.
I mean, that's half the people. You know what I mean?
And,
How many other horses were there on the other 7?
well, Bill had 2 or 3 on his, and
So there was a handful of horses there for 15 people.
yeah, maybe 5.
Wow.
But we had some great guys, some really great guys. John W. and Lance Robinson.
You said Wazapak was in there?
No, Wags was after. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Wags. He's the current. He's the current stud.
Yeah.
Double stud, triple stud. Actually, 5-time stud.
Not as good as Byron Walker.
No.
What the fuck, Bone?
I'm sorry, but I like Wag. He's great. I love his form. He's like John W.
There's other names.
Yeah.
I mean,
Byron Walker fell off a fireman at the finals and hit his head on buck and shoot 3.
He did? I thought it was Rod Lyman.
No, we won't. No.
Rod played off his buck and shoots one.
Yes, he did, but not on the fireman.
I don't remember the fireman.
The white horse? That's what he called him, the fireman. But
Really?
he said him and George Strait were partners on him. Waterhead told me. Me and George Strait, what do you call him? Well, I call him the fireman. I said, well, that motherfucker's late to the fire over at that one at the NFR because he just was like, whoop. And then the fireman went to the left. Byron went to the right.
Yeah.
But
13 times he went there.
okay.
Anyway.
did he win a gold buckle?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's a great bulldogger.
Like I said, if he had a little bit of back and a little bit of, if he'd have rode the best one every time, we wouldn't have beat him. Would not have beat him.
Not even Big Todd Fox.
Not even Big Todd.
Oh, fuck.
Todd was like me.
Okay.
Just
Tell me
very,
more.
very confident, very just
Oh, he was plenty confident.
had a great time. What the hell, But he could bulldog. I could bulldog, but
Marble Falls, Texas.
Marble Falls, yeah. He's a great guy.
What about when Sid Steiner came to the show? I mean, when he first pulled up with all the hair, the everything, was it? Charlie Crawford talks about when they put him on. His dad took off the subscription for the Pro Rodeo News because he was on the front cover. He pulled his prescription on
Some did during
You
that
know what I mean?
time. I'll tell you too, though. I mean, I'm here to back the fuck up. I mean, I'm a back
He's
him
cool,
up.
dude.
He's a great, cool dude, man.
And I'm
He's
gonna
a
tell you what, he's
humble,
got
modest fucking
cojones
guy.
bigger than Texas.
He's a talented athlete. He's just like Rocker. But yeah, he brought something that was edgy. He brought something that was cool that necessarily didn't fit in. And nobody really thought, I didn't think, because I knew him personally first, but Sid wasn't one that you thought, oh, look at that fucking rich kid. Never.
Yeah.
Not one time. You know?
No,
I
I
mean,
never considered that.
never, ever.
Yeah.
Never.
When he backed in there on that 10th one at the NFR and he run at that sunbuck, he was going for the world
He
championship.
was trying to win the world.
Yeah.
He wanted to be the best motherfucker. there
He was
was.
paving this before his son,
He
back
did
in, you know what I mean? He was doing it, and it brought a lot of eyes, but it was just
and
fun.
you don't have to.
Yeah, but
Sid don't have to do shit.
even to
Great,
this
great family.
even
All of them.
Wonderful.
even to this day, there's some of the traditionalists that are, rah, rah, rah about stuff that even Steiner's doing these days. It's going to happen, but Alfalfa talked about him a lot about at the end of that podcast, and he talked nothing but highly about him. So I'm sure he
he's
was.
wonderful.
Alfalfa. He's a great one. And no catfish.
Man, it was one of the
course, we
funniest
had-
podcasts.
I love Alfalfa. Big shout out.
Can you give us an Alfalfa story?
Oh, hell yeah.
He's a character, so I mean, I would love to have him on because
I rode catfish quite a bit. I rode him in Calgary. Got beat a 10th of a second for 50 grand.
oh shit,
Actually, all 4 of us in the final 4 were on catfish.
oh wow,
Ole Smith, myself, Lance Robinson, and Thomas Switzer.
All right.
And you run your first one, and you took that the top 4 times.
That's right.
Went to run the second one, and you combined it to win it instead of just a
Not
sudden
head-to-head.
death.
Okay.
Okay. So I got a piece of junk. I'm 5 seconds on him. I don't think I'm going to make it, but I ended up making it 4th. And then there were some 2 or 3 really good ones. Ole ended up winning the fastest. And then I think Lance and then Tommy Tommy and then Lance and then me. So I had to go first, and I got one of the other three. Those 4 steers is what came back. So whoever got mine wasn't going to have too much fun. Unfortunately, it was my buddy Ole. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I run mine, make a pretty good run, and then Lance comes and misses. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. I know Ole's got mine.
Lance Robinson and Ole Smith.
And Ole's got mine, so I'm thinking I'm probably going to be. I just got to duck Tom Switzer here, and I'm a 50 grand, and he beats me by 10th of a second.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But anyway, Alfalfa, Salinas.
Yeah.
Salinas.
He loved that rodeo.
Oh, I love. Yeah.
I still love it, but Alfalfa did love it.
Alfalfa was so motivational. Well, just he come back and say you made the greatest, just loud. Too.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't whisper it to you, Bubba. I mean,
He says funny stories.
God damn, son. So I'm running one there at Salinas, and we're running him out there quite a ways because it's 30-foot score, and they've been in one rodeo as press cut. They're not fresh. They know how to run. Bottom 30 feet. And we're going out through there, and we are rolling, and I take a hold of this son of a bitch and upend him, and we come back, and Alfalfa says, God damn, I thought you sucked the horns right off his head. But just shit like that. I mean, he was just,
blue, bro.
oh, yeah.
I was telling somebody maybe on this podcast that Charles Pogue, of all people, is serious. When he backs in the box, he's quiet, and he rides up once like a lot of headers do. But about the second time, it's slack. It's quiet. And the sand is deeper in Edna, Texas, I believe. I still got the picture because I kept it because it's just that rodeo because Alfalfa had said this. Charles backs in one more time. And like I said, it's deep sand. And he called me Okie because we're both Okies. But he goes, Okie! He said, just be careful about that left foot. They've been dragging in the sand. Get that loop all the way down there. And verbatim there. And Charles, he just went to laugh and had to ride his fucking horse up. And we had to regroup.
Oh, yeah.
Loud.
Oh, shit. Looking out for you. He said that. He says, I'd pull up to the front there and I'd set up so everybody'd see me. I wanted them to know I was at the rodeo, he said.
He had some big rigs. Yeah.
He had his name on the side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and again, not necessarily was he trying to be any different, but he's Okie, and that's the way we roll sometimes. And
like he said,
there was a lot of guys rolled their fat legs up during that time. I can remember as a kid, early on, maybe I was still in junior high, but I wanted to roll my pant legs up. Why? Because Alfalfa did it.
Absolutely.
I did. I rolled
Alfalfa was cool shit, dude.
Yeah.
Hair. Bob Seger, a little shorter, but he's hazing. I loved it.
And then I go to Roy Duval's. Roy Duval's jackpot in the spring was the greatest deal ever. We used to have, we did a 3 deal. Byron did one, and then we went to my house, and then we went to Roy's. And Roy and Byron and I matched at all 3. And I didn't win. I won second twice, and Roy.
You guys would run how many heads?
6
at each jackpot. Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we started out of 6 steers, and of course, the same steers went to every jackpot, but we kept them 6.
Oh, cool.
There's some big old touches.
Oh, cool.
And
that's a great format.
But yeah, it was.
And you bring the same 6 to all 3 different events.
Yeah, well, all the same steers, but we ended up matching on those same steers.
At the schools?
No, at the jackpots.
At the jackpot.
Oh. And that was in Louisiana?
One was at Barnes in Ennis, Texas.
Oh, wow.
One was
And mine was
Shakota.
at Shreveport.
One Shakota, yeah.
Shakota was the last one. And it was pretty cool shit. But we were at Byron's and Alfalfa. I had kind of quit, tore my knee, had both knees reconstructed and whatever. And anyway, I was had came back a little bit and was bulldogging a little bit, so I wanted to go to Roy's because I wanted to enter the 40 and over.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 41, so I had never entered. So I said, I got to go one time. So I went up there and entered it. And Alfalfa had the little black horse at the time, and he was hazing. And at Roy's, they set some bleachers out there in a V, and I mean, people just, I mean, they're going one track anyway, unless they're going over the top of people. But anyway, I don't touch either steer. Alfalfa, he's out there having rolled up or something, I don't know. But in the 40 and over, I mean, he don't get either one. I'm hazed. So I spend the night and go to the open, and I mean, there was over 100, 200
some of the baddest
opens every year. So I think I'm 4-1 twice or 4 flat 4-1. I'm winning it, and then Tom Duval ends up tying me. But so I go up to win to rope running the 40 and over. I ended up tying open, and I lost the match to Tom. But
Fine. We'll break on that.
Yeah.
Then we'll come back. We'll get some more with the Mudbone.
absolutely.
All right, we're back.
Hey,
We got Gary Green, 7-time NFR qualifier, currently a Louisiana resident,
fixing to be Arizonian.
married to a beautiful woman, Deb. Big shout out to Deb and Belle. Mudbone, one of my best friends, got a lot of stories. Mudbone's always been a guy that, like I said, do about anything you need at any given point. He helped myself. He helped Ron Pack, Tough Hedeman, and the kids a lot. But he's been a guy that's been around. But even more, on top of that, he was a great bulldogger. His brother was a great hazer and bulldogger as well. But some of the accolades would have been, let's start with the Winston Cup, which I think was kind of cool. I think the whole process was cool and what they were trying to do and making stars. You were there for one weekend. You stayed all 3 nights at a certain spot. Parties, paid good, less competitors. Major sponsors, United, Smokeless Tobacco, U.S. Smokeless Tobacco, United. Was there some more airlines? And
No, I don't think
what was
so.
what team were you on?
Copenhagen, the champs.
Champs.
Me and Roy and Lane,
Chico.
Lane Frost,
Yeah.
Damn.
Ron Perry, Butch Small,
That was your team. Who were the team ropers?
Dog Gilliman, Ricky Green.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
That is cool.
So
Do you have a picture of that? Of your team? With Lane Frost and all that?
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
where?
It's in Louisiana.
I want you to bring it back.
That is cool.
Oh yeah, I got a picture at Copenhagen Skull in Walt's office.
And then I want you to take time to focus, and I want you to sit by yourself and think about what you said about Byron Walker.
I ain't shy. I'll say it to anybody. But yeah.
How many years did that thing go on, that Winston series?
Well, you had Winston Rodeo for a long time. They give a bonus at the end of the year, Winston points and stuff, and it was $10,000 bonus.
Before Smokeless Tobacco.
And they paid down several places. Well, my rookie year, or not my first year I made NFR, I had quite a few Winston points and got a check. So we're at the Winston banquet, and they're of course all the champs are up front, and we're getting checks, and they passed me out. My check is like $2,000. I said, I just throwed it across the dance floor and said, "Here, somebody else needs this more than I do." But anyway, I ended up winning the Winston tour or Winston check. I won it twice, 10,000, and
Man, I would have fit in right well with that time.
Oh yeah, made the NFR, win the 10,000. I had to borrow 5,000 to start the rodeo season. Ain't no shit. But anyway, we get to the tour, pro rodeo tour or whatever, and had the team, had the drafts and all that. And
Drafts.
yeah, they drafted. Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, in Reno we had everybody there, and they got to
You had a
draft.
coach?
What a
draft
cool
you.
program.
And, yeah, I had 2 different coaches, and we had one guy that started, and then Randy Vaughn ended up being
So that's who drafted you guys at the draft night?
Walt Garrison.
Oh.
He was.
Oh, wow, dude.
Yeah, we got the Walt. Big
Cool.
Buzz. Got to be Big Buzz with Walt.
So when you guys are doing that team
Great
atmosphere
fucking program.
did
Where
you
did
guys
that go?
Would you like stay and watch everybody kind of on your team? Was it kind of more like a team atmosphere?
Oh, absolutely.
Like that was cool. That was something
Yeah.
new to brought to rodeo, right?
There was bonuses for the team and everything, and of course we win the cup. And
They had cool shirts too, man.
Yeah.
They did. They were badass.
yeah,
I'd love to see some of those. If anybody,
I still got one.
you got a vintage shirt?
Copenhagen,
Oh.
Copenhagen Skull tour shirt. Yeah,
Oh man,
I got that, and I got the Winter Olympics when we challenged Canada in 1988.
a great segue, Bone.
Yeah.
Great segue.
Yeah.
See, your communication skills are fucking rocking too.
So talk about that. So it's United States versus Canada in Canada
Yeah,
for the Winter Olympics.
yes, sir. They took 3 guys in each event
I wanted to go to that
from
so bad.
each country, and of course I took my sawhorse up for Jimmy, and of course
What
we did
year?
88,
Go ahead.
but we didn't have Jeff Hazen,
Where was
so he was in rodeo. I left Montgomery, Alabama, and drove to Calgary with my horse,
Wow.
and Steve was supposed to help me drive. He was going to drive. He was going to fly into Amarillo, and I was going to pick him up on the way. I pull in the Amarillo airport, and here comes Mike Smith walking out. I said, "What the hell?" He said, DuBois talked me into it. Well, Mike Smith, he would drive about 100 miles and give it up. So I got a long ways to go from Amarillo to Calgary, but we made it.
Here's a question, too. I mean, we now know that during the Olympics that the camp's known for solicit activities amongst athletes, all different states. With that being said, the turtle box question of the day, because we want full transparency. Was the Olympic camp at the rodeo anywhere similar to the Olympic camp is at the Winter Olympics, say wherever it is? Are there several activities that go on that were fun?
With the other countries?
I don't care.
Or months, your own.
We just, but you
I can't answer that question.
So you said they took three
Next
people
question.
from each event. So it was you and two other guys.
Duhan and Lance
And then-
Robinson.
Do you remember who the team ropers were?
They didn't have team roping.
Oh, they didn't do team ropers.
They later did it one other one.
I don't think
Murray
they-
Linthicum and Rocky Dallion won it, but
I don't think they had team roping.
No, I don't think the year that you went. No, they did not. Negative.
So when you got that call and you were in Montgomery and you got that call, was it like because was that the first ever to do it before you, or did they do it before?
No,
you?
no, it was the first time, and it wasn't, we didn't get a call. It was the first and the world and first in the average
Okay.
and second, first and second in the world and first in the average.
Okay. So you
Got
knew
to
it.
go. Steve won the world and the average,
Oh, so then
so they dropped down to second. I got to go.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's like, I mean, that's something to be. I mean, you're representing our country. I mean,
Oh yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
you're talking about the country. I mean,
So who was there for the USA? You, Big Steve Duhan,
Lance Robinson,
LR. All right.
Who was Canada's three?
Blaine Peterson maybe, and
Ivan Teagan. Was he from Canada?
Roy,
Ivan Teagan.
Mark Roy.
Ivan Teagan looked like he'd eat the whole Copenhagen can at once.
He rode Old Reverend really good.
Ivan Teagan did?
Oh yeah, he
He looked
loved
so
him.
tough.
You're right.
Was he badass?
Yeah. No, he wasn't.
no-
There wasn't a mean streak in him.
Not no fight
He
stories.
would
Like
love to
Duhan.
love to fish.
Duhan tells a lot of stories on his podcast too about fighting and shit like that. But I tell him one story that Kevin Stewart, of all people, the NFR header from Glen Rose. Kevin gets pretty bold after a few beers, but he just got to mouthing Duhan over there at the Letterbuck room, and I don't know. This cup looked like this cup is what ended up looking like Kevin.
Yeah.
And then at about that time, Duhan bit off about that much of fucking Kevin Stewart's ear on his ear. Oh, he just spit it out. I
Like
witnessed-
really did.
Oh, witness.
Oh my
all
god.
the day is long.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
yeah, homie little
blood.
Oh, bleeding. Yeah, just picked him up and held him, and his little legs were just
Oh
dangling.
my goodness.
Damn.
They said in that Letterbuck room that these bulldoggers would just get your hat and wash your hat, and they said that was some wild stuff goes
I
on.
never went in there.
Oh,
Not once.
And Byron Walker's the best bulldogger in the world.
Yeah. That's because I'm stable minded.
No, you ain't, motherfucker. No, you ain't.
But ended up winning the silver medal in the bulldog.
Okay.
Lance won it. We won the gold for the team.
it was just you and Canada competing
Mm-hmm.
in that. So, was there any other events that had other countries?
No, it was just Canada.
And
Three
that's
in
it.
each event from Canada and three in each event from the U.S.
Okay.
Would you guys invite Lance to dinner today?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good. Tell me about the Presidential
He's
Cup.
been very successful, actually.
Lance Robinson's badass.
Yeah. With these race horses and stuff like
Now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Him and,
From Utah?
Carter. Is it Carter the jockey?
GR?
I think they partnered on a bunch of.
Him and GR?
I think.
Oh, cool.
One of them jockeys, one of them Carter. Yeah, they raised a lot of.
Oh, JR's good,
He
buddy.
breeds a lot of horses back in Kentucky, and
Sweet. Oh,
I
cool.
don't think he's had a. I think he sold one colt that went to the Derby, but I don't think Lance has had one
Yeah.
that himself.
GR, he does the back flip off of him. Yeah. After he wins. Cool. So then the Presidential Cup, another event you competed at.
Yes.
Where?
But it, Landover, Maryland.
Oh,
wow.
shit.
For Ronald Reagan, President Ronald Reagan.
He was there. And
See, that was that the,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He spoke to us, and then of course we had the rodeo event, and I think there was 4, maybe 5 in each event.
oh,
Lance,
cool.
let's see, not Lance's. Joe Emerson, he won it that day.
Right.
Myself, Stan Williamson, and Joe Dornkamp. Might have just been 4.
How did those
Maybe
4
John
get,
W.
or how did that people get picked to go?
got
Same
invited.
thing. Oh, got invited. Wow. So
Kind of top so many that certain time of the year, whatever. I can't remember.
Was that something that went on multiple years, or was that just
No,
Reagan?
that senator, what was his? I can't remember his name. He's one, got it all going. But he was from out here in Arizona, I think.
Rooster Cogburn?
No.
John McCain?
No, this is years ago.
Anyway,
so we had the event, and that's where Charlie Sampson got really hurt.
Oh
That
shit!
little kiss me, whatever,
Right,
jerked him down, smashed his face.
Oh damn!
That wasn't the one he lost his ear on.
No, that was in Reno. But and President Reagan, he helped him out a bunch
Oh wow!
with his.
Oh,
with
cool.
his
That's
story.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
still talk to Charlie. He should come on here with us.
Yeah,
Hell
he
yeah.
That was right down.
Yeah, I talked to him.
Whitman or
Right here, yeah.
Morristown somewhere.
Yeah,
Get him on.
Hell yeah, we need to get him on. He's a
Yeah,
neighbor.
we can
That's awesome.
get Charlie on there. Good. Yeah.
But it is, I really, and he and I's buds. I just talked to him here about a month ago. But, and he ropes good.
Oh.
Yeah, but the first time I seen him, of course, I'd heard all the stories. I might have seen him ride a few on TV right there towards the end of me graduating from high school, but whatever the last year he was, he made them. But back to one of those guys that kept his hands shut, which you had to admire. But I'm like, he didn't just lose an ear. And they didn't make one for him. And I'll be damned, first time I could see him in person, I'm like, look how little that guy is. He stays on some of the baddest motherfuckers there is, back when they bucked.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went to looking closer at his ear, and I'm
It's
like,
gone.
No, when they made him an amateur.
it's a prosthetic.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
But they picked his ear up in the arena. In the arena, they said, "Somebody go out there and get the ear."
Oh shit!
And we found it. Yeah, I can't remember what year that was.
But you said that Reagan kind of helped him out with after that on medical.
Oh, absolutely.
That's amazing. That's really cool.
Followed, he kept in touch with him, and
That's really
I
cool.
mean, he's lucky he's not dead.
How many people were at that rodeo?
And the worst part about it was, he's laying there, and they're trying to get the bull out of the arena, right? And the gate man slings the gate open.
Oh,
and Charlie,
fuck.
he's laying flat on his back, and it just rakes right across his nose.
Oh,
Of course, he can't feel nothing then. I mean, he's out, but it still didn't look very good.
Oh shit!
And Hooter Brown, he did the fly out dismount. Oh, it was fantastic for the president. I mean, he was airborne, highest I'd ever. I mean,
Who?
Hooter Brown, Bob Brown, Hooter
In the
Brown.
bronc riding?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The best leaper in the world
On his feet. Better than
ever.
no.
Him and Hawkeye and
him and Hawkeye.
The
You would
little
get
boy
air?
from that day Hooter got. You could have drove a car underneath him and over top of the horse.
So you're
Land
talking
on
about
his feet.
after 8 seconds they dismount?
Yeah,
I
he
got you.
dismount,
Okay.
yeah.
So how many people were at that event to watch that for the president?
They let quite a few people in. I'm not saying there's a bunch, but there were 400 or 500.
Secret Service walking around and stuff.
Yeah. Well, see, then after the rodeo, we got to go to the White House,
Oh, that's really cool.
and we had barbecue dinner on the White House lawn.
Damn,
Oh, no.
that's amazing.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Not during your prime eating days.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I bet you needed fucking plates and sideboards.
Ronnie, he's sitting right there. Charmaine's right there, and I'm right next to Charmaine.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, and I'm wiping the barbecue on my shirt. No.
Louisiana. Oh,
Yeah,
shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, I could eat back then.
So when you got to the White House, did they give you a little tour? Did you see the West Wing or anything like that?
Yeah, we walked around a little bit, but yeah, we had to do all this background checks and everything
Yeah.
before we got to go. I mean,
Britt wouldn't
and
be
if
able
you
to
want
go
to bring,
in.
if you bring somebody, you had to get
Probably
them
not.
checked. in
Probably
too.
not, dude.
But,
Britt's in the car.
Yeah.
But I think the only one, the Hawkeye, he tried to wear his spurs in there, and the buzzer went off. But they ended up they didn't make him.
Yes.
He didn't make. They made it. They let him keep him on.
But not that long ago, just maybe a month ago, the world champions from this year got to go see
That's
Oval
really cool,
Trump.
yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
They got to go into the
Oval Office.
We didn't get to go in
Yeah.
the Oval Office, but we got to go around. And of course, they had picnic tables and big stuff in the
really
in the lawn there.
In that great amount of time where you did achieve greatness and you did things more than likely the better way and the best way because you were a contender and you were amongst the best Bulldoggers at that time for that 7-year, tenure. What did you admire the most about it?
Oh, just
What did it mean to you?
I mean, I craved. I mean, A lot of people always said, I don't know if bulldogging was made for Gary or Gary was made for bulldogging, but just to travel, the people, the challenge of getting the rodeos and
I mean, Gary was big too. I mean, even when I met him first, and not that he's dwindling away for nothing, because you can see the size of the paws on him. Look at his paws; they're huge.
yeah, I've lost 70 pounds.
Right, but I mean, just back in the day, he's a big guy. Pulled ropes for Lane Frost and Pig. I mean, several guys. He pulled their ropes at the finals.
Oh, wow.
We dropped Lane's name, and him and Lane were really, really good buddies, and him and Tuff were really good friends, regardless of whatever.
Wow.
Tuff's a little hard to get along with, but we both love him more than anything in the world, and he thinks the same of us. But yeah, I mean, yeah,
Absolutely.
he was real instrumental in a lot of things Pig did, and then managed a lot of stuff for him later on.
Lane Frost, Tough Heatman, Jim Sharp. I pulled all their ropes.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. You've
Yeah.
seen a few pictures. He's got his 13 MWZs on. They're bluer and shit. He's up there
My
pulling.
big trench coat.
Yeah, big trench coat.
Yeah, that kind of made them quit letting them wear a coat. They had to wear your numbers. You had to show your number. So they got the jackets with their numbers on the back now. See, but
So you at that time, the Blazer, the Duster, where you could pull them back. Did you back to maybe the hoof grip question of the day? Did you wear that at the Olympic? Maybe at the campgrounds when you were at the rodeo in Canada, or was you married there?
I wore them trench coats everywhere I wasn't when I wasn't bulldogging.
Oh, okay, good. I just
I
checking.
had them all. I had a brown one and a black one. They were cool shit. I wanted to get a coyote, but I didn't get it. Never did get one built. But,
Okay, now Steve Duhon too, who I think, gosh, hard to say that he's not amongst those guys that are arguably the best ever. And Byron, but did he at one time say, "Look, Bone, when you do pass, I would. In fact, if you go before me, would you please wheel me your big toe so that I can make a saddle horn out of it?"
oh, absolutely. I got some pretty big old alley oop.
Look at his toe. I bet his
Alley-oop.
toes are big. I mean, Tough used to. We would just try to. And he could whip us all, but he takes it all and gives it back pretty good as well. But
You remember the story about alley oop?
no.
No, I can't remember the whole story. But we're at amateur rodeo over in Arkansas, and we're in a motel room. And the shower didn't have a full door, and the guy, one of the pickup men or whatever, I was fighting bulls at the time. And he comes in there and he looks and he said, "God damn, alley oops in my shower." Big old toes.
Is it a cartoon?
Yeah, it's a cartoon character. I can't remember what.
Alley-oop. Oh,
Yeah, some pretty good times. Pretty good times. Ricky and the Red Streaks.
Yeah, Ricky and the Red Streaks was
Yeah.
always good.
Yeah,
Brandon would. Yeah, those are great stories. Yeah, you could go to Ricky and the Red Streaks. I got to go a couple years. Yeah, Steve Purcell and myself, we got to visit. I mean, but you would want to go to the Stardust to go to Ricky and the Red Streaks. That's where they were headlining there.
Yeah.
It was the craziest, wildest party. I mean, just a cool, raunchy ass band that the Cowboys went to. And then they did a deal the other night. I watched Taxi Cab Confessions on HBO, and the couples got in the back and they go, "Where should we go?" And the cab driver said, "You should go to the beach." And I can remember the best parties. I forgot all about the beach until the Taxi Cab Confessions. But I'm telling you, at the beach, that was the first time I'd ever seen. It wasn't like a rave, but I mean, you were partying and we was dancing, and I was probably around somebody that I shouldn't have been at that time. But they would. First, I hear this. Whee! Here goes a siren. Well, you look across there and here's this PVC pipe, and I don't know. I bet there's 50 rolls of toilet paper on it. And then they got the big leaf blower behind it. And when they would take that and blow all them deals off, that fucking toilet paper would just roll, and it was crazy. And that was way before I even tried any kind of recreational pharmaceuticals. It was way cool. It was way cool. Yeah, the beach, but
We need to
a lot
go
of
sit
cool,
now.
but a lot of cool places, and it's not there no more. But rodeo was a different time then too. How big were your steers?
Oh, they were big.
I mean, big like today. Did you bulldog?
Big like today? No, not big like today.
They're bigger today.
No.
They're smaller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you bulldog different than, say, some guys today?
Oh, absolutely. My first year, I went Cheyenne in '84.
Okay.
The first year I run that year had the biggest head of any steer I ever seen.
Big bass horns?
Big base horn. I guarantee you, just the head, not the horns, was 2 foot.
like your,
And then
like
the
your
horns.
hand span.
And the horns. And I said, "Holy mackerel!" So I caught this deer and I just drive his head in the ground. I mean, in the dirt. And when he comes up for air, I hit him and got him laid over. And then my second one, he was a runner, was in the mud. They tried to drag the arena. It had a big old rut. And I
Like
caught
9 or 12, 17?
I was 10 on my first one.
Wow.
And I think 8 or 9 on my second one. I bounced him off the fence, throwed him down. And then I come back with a really good one.
Brandon Brown, have you ever been to Cheyenne?
Yes, sir.
Oh, cool.
I've just obviously watched. You know, I
But
wasn't
you
in
watched
there.
the Bulldog?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
great.
Oh, that's why they have the finals is the last event.
Yeah.
Used to be.
Okay.
It was
I
after
did-
the bull riding.
I was telling Bone, I was telling him on the way down here, I'm like, man, Pendleton is dangerous. Don't get me wrong, but the Cheyenne just completely amazed me the first few I seen.
Oh, yeah.
They're going so fast.
I couldn't believe how narrow it was. Just the
Yeah, for
line.
those guys.
Yeah.
Well, for everybody, but
I
yeah,
thought-
the arena.
And Selena's the same way, only just turned around.
That one looks scary too.
You come around the yard, it's
I mean,
worse.
Wanted just need blow it.
Those steers ain't fresh. they know how to run.
They do know how to run.
And 30-foot score. And
So I got a question about. I just was thinking right now. We're talking about times and different events. You were saying back then you threw one at 3-1, 3-2.
the Texas Circuit Finals, 3-1, Abilene, Texas.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a normal time today, right? I'm not saying normal time. That's a fast time for today, right? That's a
That's still
higher
really,
end,
really
good
fast
time.
I mean,
correct.
3-4 to 3-8, 3-9.
So
You see it every day.
as just the times, nothing else. All I'm talking about is times. Back then, the times and today's times, they're not. It's not like back then they were 10 and now they're 3. They were 3 back then as well. They were 4 back then. They were, those were normal times, correct?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, hell, the world records were set back in
Yeah.
long time ago,
So
2-4 or whatever.
My point, what I'm getting at is, so as far as your guys' times have been pretty much consistent through this whole time you set the records back then. In the team roping side of it, the times have got faster, correct? I mean, like we just saw a world record 2.9, 3.2, all this stuff. 5 flat at the NFR back then was a smoke and run, correct?
Yeah, 5 flat. There wasn't too many. Like I said, from '94 when we set the record. Doyle and I it was 4-2. We were 4-1 that year.
And that was in 94?
94.
See what I mean? That was a huge amount of time that it wasn't. You break the record that. So you see what I'm saying? Like the times have in the team open have
Crazy.
have came down quite a bit, 2-3 seconds worth, but the times for your guys' event hasn't.
Like Steve Duhon, he set the record in Vegas on my horse, 3 flat in 86, I believe it was.
You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like back,
I see the common side of that is that I think the start basically primary. It's always kind of the same, other than the specialty rodeos that Bone and I both mentioned, Cheyenne and Pendleton, maybe wherever else, Calgary, Salinas, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, not that they don't nod and go or need to see something, but I think that's why they stayed more stationary, the times have, because it's been the same start a lot of times. They didn't score them longer back then. Steers were bigger.
Yeah, there's a rule in the rule book. You got the box has got to be certain depth and it's got to be a certain length.
So
That's it.
I think that's probably what you're saying, and reach it. Will it revolutionize more, and will they become? Well, I mean, there's so much time allowed for them to get to the back of the box and on the horns.
Mm-hmm.
Are there way more talented? Well, yeah, the fucking Ty Ericksons and all of those guys, Tyler Pearson, Wags. I think they bulldog quicker
Well,
yeah, they do bulldog quicker
from head
because
to the time that they sling shit off their tail.
well, my question is too, though, is
Right.
can it go any
the cows
faster?
are shaped up better. I mean, we run a lot of fresh cattle back in
Yeah,
the day.
I guess cow has a lot
That's
to do
a
with
big,
it. Yeah,
big difference. There's a big difference in a fresh cow.
I think that's why
and
more
a trained
trained
cow.
saying.
but do you see it going any faster? You see them throwing them in a 1
Yes.
something 1.9?
No, absolutely not.
That's what I mean. Like
From box to horns that's too far.
like it's fast as it's going to
The
be.
world record's 2.4, and it was done 3 times, 2 times without a barrier. Okay, so there's barriers everywhere. My brother was 2.9. He was 2.9 in
Fast.
1974 at the National High School Finals.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the first time. So, I mean, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But they were little bitty steers. They brought
Yeah.
in for them kids. And stuff
Everything's
like that.
different. Yeah.
It's in the same way now. The steers are trained. Okay. We tried to run. Of course, we ran freshmen. They'd run them at Cheyenne. They'd take them to the prairies in Oklahoma and let them graze all summer. And then we'd run them at the NFR in Oklahoma
Yeah.
City. I mean, they had a back a foot wide, just shitting green. And wanting to tear your clothes off, you know.
Yeah.
We would throw them down out of the bucking chutes before the rodeo and try and split them up in pens, even as we possibly could. But now today, you're taking steers that's been run all year, or maybe even 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Makes
You
sense.
know, and when you touch them,
They kind of know.
yeah, they're coming. You'll see a lot of them just throw their head up and lay down, and
Yeah.
but there's still technique. I mean, Tyler,
Absolutely.
I mean, he's got it mastered. But
My guy's Tucker Allen. He's my favorite.
Tucker's got a lot of
I'm Team Tucker.
style.
I just like his fucking, I just like a little pit bull. I don't know.
He's bigger than you think.
Yeah.
Was that riding Banker?
Did he? I don't remember.
Is that the sorrel ball face?
From Canada horse.
Banker, I think.
When we were in Hondo, he was riding a horse at the head stall, had a Canadian flag in it.
Oh, that would have been great.
Curtis Cassidy.
Curtis Cassidy's,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, they've had some good horses.
Oh, yeah.
We had him on the podcast.
Willie, and
Yeah.
those horses are really, really, really good horses. And I've been fortunate enough to ride a lot of good horses. I got to ride Roy Duval's Whiskey. They ran slack one morning in Houston. I think they ran 50.
That's what he's saying, something like this.
50.
Crazy, yeah.
We had touched up on that, but that's a lot.
And we had a lot on ours too, but not
That's what I meant, yeah.
not that many. But I got to ride Whiskey and Bar. Wayne belonged to Wayne Jennings right here in Phoenix. Bar was a really, really good one.
So let me ask you something. You only get paid as the guy that owns the horse and mounts it out if the guy that rides your horse wins, correct? So
Correct.
if he don't win, you don't get nothing either. You both don't get nothing.
Oh.
So when he let that guy ride 50 times, he was just, he might only got,
Surely somebody would have won something.
but you see what I'm saying? He was losing more than he was winning, but I mean,
he just wasn't. He just that type. He just wasn't going to turn nobody down.
yeah, it made
you know.
sense. Yeah.
But there's
Married to Deb. You got grandkids?
I do. Deb and I don't have any kids.
I know that.
She's got 2 boys, and I got a daughter. And my daughter's got 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. And Deb's oldest son has a boy.
Okay.
So we're pretty fortunate with that. But back to your question about what intrigued me about it. I've been led rodeo all my life. My dad rodeoed, my older brother rodeoed. He had go to the service and kind of lost contact with it, tore a knee up. But anyway, just to go and just to be with them people and accomplish stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
But and like I said, we borrowed horses first couple of years and then was able to buy that one. And Reverend, I had to I took him home and tried him. That was in April. We get to Vernon in May, and Red's, okay, what are you going to do? You going to buy him or whatever? And I said, yeah, but I ain't got it. So he gave me till Ada, which was in August, to pay him $7,500, which I bought him for $15,000. So I had till August to pay the first $7,500, and then I had to pay him the other $7,500 at the end of the finals.
Wow.
We get to Cheyenne in July, last week of July, and we just came from Salinas, and they won a bunch on it. Pretty good checks out at the Salinas. We didn't ride him at Cheyenne because all that spring and summer he was having some quarter crack issues, and I was having hell trying to keep them, from hurting. And we'd lace him with hanging wire and screws and stuff and Bondo,
Trying to get his hoof right.
Yeah. So we get to Cheyenne, and so I called this Danny Terry. He's in Mississippi. Great horseshoer. So I fly him up there. I ain't paid a dime for this horse. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. He comes up there and he said, okay, this is what we got to do. He said, we got to cut down the side of this footwall from his hairline all the way down.
Oh, fuck.
And peel that whole hoof wall out.
Oh, fuck.
On both front feet.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay? I ain't paid a dime for this horse yet. Okay,
What's your vet check?
Golly.
So, and I'm soaking him up some salts. I clean the bandage 2 or 3 times a day. For the whole time we're at Cheyenne, the whole week, because we're there. We got guys riding, and there wasn't much going on. Everybody just kind of went and hung out. 10 days later, we win Casper on him.
Wow.
He was sound as a dollar bill, and I win Casper. Some mount money. I went home and borrowed $2,500 from the bank, and I showed up at 8 because Red, he's seeing all these people riding his horse. He's think he's going to get him back because I ain't got the,
fuck.
he ain't got the money. And I show up at 8 and hand him the $7,500 cash, and then
That's cool.
and then I paid the rest off in Vegas. But it was pretty easy after that. But we did. He was very fortunate to have that. He was, like I said, he comes from. I mean, they started bulldog on that horse when he was 2. And he would buck. He was shy from a piece of paper. Hated kids, and hated women. He would come over a stall for a woman, or he was just one of them, But he was. I loved him. He was great.
Your travels brought you favorite places, favorite rodeo?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Where?
Ellensburg.
Just because of kind of the weather, end of the year.
Well,
kinda like
yeah,
that.
it was a big arena, and you kind of had to let one. I like to let one out there. I didn't, I wasn't a nod and ride guy. I didn't like San Angelo. I hated San Angelo.
Did they have good
Too quick.
hospitalities at Ellensburg as they do now?
No.
Oh, bad for you.
Yeah, they didn't have hospitalities nowhere, dude.
Oh,
But
you'd have wrecked them, bro.
I could eat. Yeah. Shit, yeah.
So back then, you're talking mid 80s and the pickups and stuff like that. We talk about the gas price right now and diesel. What was it costing you to get across the country back then? I mean, you're probably only going maybe 8-10 miles a gallon most them trucks. Big
Well,
gas.
I kind of figured if we got ours 16.
Miles a gallon.
Yeah.
Oh,
4 guys at 4
Oh,
miles a
yeah.
gallon. No. But no, we got about, then 454, we're getting about
Yeah.
4 miles a gallon.
that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
say 460 or 454.
Yeah, 454, getting about 4 miles a gallon.
Bumper pool.
I mean,
And,
different world back then.
Bumper pool in the Capri camper with all big bulldoggers balls all stinky around it. I bet y'all stunk some.
We had a shower in there.
Yeah, I know.
In the
We
camper?
did.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had a shower and air conditioner, 2 queen size beds. I had some big boys that rodeo with me.
4 big boys at least.
4 big boys. We had a pretty good.
It smell like balls.
Myself, Fontenot, Mike Smith, Dan Cormier. I mean,
Dan Cormier?
yeah, Dan
God.
rodeo. He's 6'7", 260, 270. Mike Smith, 6'3",
They leave a big
260.
a big turd.
Leave a big
John Fontenot was the greatest ever living. He was just a character.
Yeah,
But-
tough too. They said when John hit you, you did just
But we're in
good dude.
Caldwell, Idaho, and just driving around the afternoon, killing some time, and of course, back in the day, everybody kind of run the girls a little bit. Dan, he's kind of harassing John a little bit about the big girls he's been chasing, and I'm driving. John's in the middle, Mike's over by the door, and Dan's in the. We have a sleeper. You cut the little cubby hole that goes back into the camper, and Dan's laying back there. And Dan, he's getting harassing John. They've been picking at him. And he said, "Well, them old fat girls, you've been going, And John said, "Well, at least I didn't marry one." Oh man, the fire! He coming through that button. We had to stop the truck, and Mike gets out, and they're out there on the side of the road going at it and shit. And we try to break it up, and I get them broke up. I looked at Dan. I said, "I keep telling you boys this shit. That truth hurts sometimes." I said, I forgot. This is kind of what I said. And she's a stewardess. I mean, she's not at all. I mean, she's a good girl.
Stewardess and flight attendant now.
Flight attendant. Excuse me. But yeah, they were out on the ground, and it was pretty good. But that same crew, she wouldn't let Dan charter. He could do the free flights and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
So she didn't want him getting on no charter planes. Well, we're up really good at Napa, Salt Lake, Ogden. We got them pretty good. But so we rent a car in Napa. I leave Reverend and we run our first steer there. We drive all night to go to Slack at Salt Lake. And then we're up at Ogden that evening, 315 miles from Ogden to Napa. We're in a Pontiac. Myself driving, Dan's in the front, and Mike and John are in the back. I mean, I got it floored and put it on cruise control. And we are low riding because that's how much wasn't going to bounce with what we got. And 350 miles from Durn to after.
Wow.
And we had to stop twice. Well, we got to some road construction. We had to get out behind a highway patrol for 15 miles of road construction. That slowed us down. Then we had to stop and get fuel. And I'm sitting there and we're watching the calf roping. We didn't, one of the greatest drives I ever did in my life.
See, that's a thrill. That's what you love.
Oh,
That was it right there. So when you're on them travels and you're going through, the Panhandle and Oklahoma, Kansas, all through all them countries, did you ever have a weather story? Like, did you ever have like a tornado warning or like something crazy?
Kansas.
I always wondered about that.
We're going from come out of Hill City maybe to Phillipsburg, somewhere up in that northwest part. And Steve and I think it was only one. Steve's in the passenger side, and we pull up to the stop sign. So we would have been heading south. Of course, all the roads run northeast and south, east, north, south. I mean, they're all straight in Kansas. So we're headed south, and it is pouring ass rain. I mean, I'm thinking hail and shit. I think it's going to break the windshield. I mean, the passenger side window. And it ain't doing a drop on my side. Freakiest shit I've ever seen in my life. Of course, I was born and raised in Kansas. I've seen lots of tornadoes coming at us and turn and go and leave us and pick up houses and throw them around, toss them around, see boards flying and shit. But
I ain't never seen none of that.
My dad was on the way to the college rodeo in Guyman, and same thing. But the hail started hitting, and it was softball. But when it hit, it wouldn't bounce; it would just pop and stay. And then sometimes
that's deadly shit.
So I got a suitcase up. And isn't a Dodge, one of them old school Dodges, a 94, they would haul ass.
Yeah.
So they had plenty of torque. But I could tell that I could look up and the funnel cloud was above us. And we had it in second or third, whatever it is, where we should have got out from up underneath it. And it just held you. I mean, that's no bullshit. I was old enough to kind of know what was going on, but we were just right there.
Jesus.
No, I never been
huge hail.
No tornado.
Huge
thank
hail.
goodness. There was lots of those.
I've lived here my whole life, so we get monsoon once a year here. We all freak out, but no, I had never been part of that. I went to Louisville, Kentucky one time, and for the National FFA convention, and there was a tornado there outside, and they put us all in the basement. I was tripping the fuck out. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, they're scary. I mean, they ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah.
I think there was some a family leaving an AJRA rodeo there in West Texas one year, and they sucked them right out the back window.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, it was bad.
Man.
Yeah, them
so
no fun.
Great years, great career as far as a bulldogger. And now that's you pretty much everything that you've done, from managing a Western store, selling cars, bulldogging. Everything's been pretty okay for you in life. Everything's good.
Wouldn't change a bit.
That's awesome.
Wouldn't change a bit. I mean, sure, I would have loved to win a gold buckle, but man,
What's
7 times is pretty fun.
That's really cool.
What does Gary Green find himself doing now? What's he do daily?
I get a check in the mail.
Yeah.
Little disability check.
Of course.
And then a team rope
Yes, sir.
up here at Wickenburg.
Which I knew.
Of course, my wife nursing there, and we're planning on moving out here. We're like get out of that wet country in Louisiana. She's tired. She's always wanted to be out here. New Mexico, Arizona. She's always wanted to be around the rocks and the desert and the cactus. And so we're fixing to make that happen here later this summer, I think. But
Jackpotted during their busy season up here? You did
absolutely. Yeah. I
Headed
had
mainly?
it. Yeah. Love to heal, but my shoulders just won't let me.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, but I've watched you a lot. I've learned a lot.
The bucket trick.
I was state champion in high school healing.
That was in 62.
No, that was 73.
Oh.
And then you also you said about your baseball, different places you've been here. So that's really cool.
My wife and I both. We love
trains.
We just went to
Baseball
Yankees
and
game.
trains.
Trains, Amtrak. Yeah, Amtrak just started last year too. But we're going to go to every diamond or
that's awesome.
professional ballpark. One of these new, we'll get them, and we're about to get all the spring training done here at the Cactus League. But we did go watch the Yankees the other day. But we're going up into the East and watch the Yankees and the Boston and Washington and Phillies. And we went to West Coast. Rented a black convertible Mustang and drove from San Diego to L.A.
That's
to
cool.
Oakland, the Giants.
That's really cool.
Back down. We had a blast.
Yeah, we have a buddy that comes in the podcast, Anthony. He plays in Mexico now, but he was with the Cleveland Indians or Guardians, and that's how he hooked us up with Turtle Box and all these players we had on. And he used to be an outfielder, and when he was with a really good team in 2015 with the Detroit Tigers. And anyways, he was done playing, and right before he quit, he told the guys like, I can pitch, I can throw. So they gave him a shot at it. He made the roster pitching as well. So I got to know him, and he's introduced me to a lot of people. So it's a cool story. We're rooting for him, but he's playing in Mexico now.
Cool.
But yeah, Anthony, shout out Anthony. No, that's really cool. Go to all them different parks. That'd be a cool thing to do. I like to do.
Been
that.
everywhere, brother. I love it. I mean,
You said you're going to go to the East Coast. That's where the history is. That's the Boston and
yeah,
New
we didn't
York.
get to go to the old Yankee Stadium, but
Yeah.
we're going to get to go to this. We're going to get to the Red Sox before it's done, and Philadelphia. I want to go see the Fanatic. Philadelphia
That little
Fanatic.
green guy.
Yeah, the Fanatic. You got to go see him, man.
Britt could. That's what Britt needs to be inside there, huh?
Yeah, he could do damn,
do a great
damn
job.
good.
Yeah.
Britt can do whatever.
Yeah,
he
he can.
just gift the gab.
Yeah.
Britt has the gift the gab,
Yeah. No.
but
Philly's your team though?
no,
No.
I like a couple players there, but the Yankees, Rangers,
Rangers. I knew that
Rangers.
was coming.
Okay.
and I just love watching talent. Okay,
Yeah. Did you like the baseball?
Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, it was amazing.
We are so fortunate to get to watch the
Yeah.
greatest baseball player ever.
That's fact.
He will win the Cy Young, the MVP, and everything this year.
I
Probably
mean-
the batting championship too.
The Byron Walker of baseball.
Yeah. Yeah. I think people just are sleeping on his career that we're watching it. You know what I mean? They're not really like believing what they're seeing type of deal because he is the best. I mean, this is Babe Ruth
Best
in our
ever.
era, our era. So yeah, I mean,
What's his name?
They'll forget Babe Ruth.
What's his name?
Shohei Ohtani,
Oh, yeah.
you know him.
Japanese.
I was going to say, is that Italian?
You heard of her. No, he's
He's gonna make them forget Babe Ruth.
What about the World Baseball Classic? Did you watch?
Loved it.
That was cool.
Loved
huh?
it. I wish it would. God Almighty, it's some
There's a couple.
fantastic.
God, it was great.
Man, it came a little bit of strategies
It's,
there. with
it's
United
better than
States,
the World
but-
Series.
Oh, I believe so. I think we should have won it. There was some.
Had him out of
Well,
there.
we just didn't bat.
You know-
Man, we just didn't hit. They pitched better than we did. I'm sorry.
How about the challenging for the? Do you like that when they challenge for the strikes and all?
No.
You know? And they show that screen?
Absolutely not.
That's the part of baseball. You know, the
Okay.
human error. I mean,
You're talking about a half inch, dude,
Yeah.
at 100 mile an hour.
you expected him.
Back
to
your ass in there and try
Yeah.
and call it.
I ain't getting behind that.
Huh?
Hell no.
That's ridiculous.
But I didn't like it.
Ridiculous.
It slowed the game down too much. I don't know. I didn't like them being able to do that.
It's no different in the replay, okay? Minute seconds for an umpire to call, even at first, even at second base. When a guy steals second, he stole second, okay? The guy did not tag him, but he might have slid off by a fraction of an inch, changing foot to hand,
Yeah.
and they call him out.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. He done stole the damn base,
Yeah.
you know?
I
Give
just
him credit.
because now you're gonna go back to all the
check.
records and from history. How you gonna do that? With all the
And the
different.
bases are bigger and
It's a lot of
3
bullshit.
inches or whatever.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties.
I can hear you fine.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear myself.
Well, wiggle
Well,
this one.
that's first.
Can you hear you now?
Yeah, I can't hear him. So
I can't hear myself.
No,
That's good. Maybe I can talk louder.
that's awesome. I want to do that same thing. That'd be a cool tour to go on.
You been
Hey.
you been any wild plane trips?
Now, mic check. Here we go. What?
Any wild charter plane trips?
I have.
I have. Yeah,
I have.
those.
I have been with from all different both ends of the game. I went from a 2-seater that I wouldn't fly on with Caesar that day when we was going from Greeley to Pecos, and I saw that I was going to have to sit on the floor, and it was hot, and I'd already done it prior in King Air, and it was miserable but pressurized, and this one wasn't. So I'm like, I skipped out on that one. But then I also took with Hort Dog more than enough
The
trips.
best.
Yeah, it was really crazy.
It's hard to go back once you.
Oh yeah.
We chartered a guy out of Lamar, I think it was, for the 4th of July, and we're in Pinoca. We're everywhere. We're in Pinoca, coming back to the States. You got to check and cut bank for customs.
Okay.
And me, Herbert, Steve, and Mike. I believe it was, yeah. Anyway, so we land in cut bank and we crack a wheel. Don't come off, but you can feel it. It
On the
don't-
plane.
Yeah. So they got to ship us a wheel overnight because they didn't have one. So we spent the night. But we were entered in a rodeo at Helena, kind of over. We had time to make it before we had to get to St. Paul the next morning for the slack. So Herbert and them, they talked to this guy. He's got a little 4-seater. So the three of them, they're going to get in it and try and get to Helena. And it's late, and it's windy, and this little old crop duster, single engine, little whatever. Oh, we'll make it. Herbert, Herbert, he's a freaking cat daddy. He's mouthing off. And we're standing inside there where the intercom is, and we're kind of visiting with them as they're taxiing out and shit. I was telling Herbert, I said, Herbert, you ain't going to make it, dude. I said, you guys go, because there wasn't room for me anyway. But he said, oh, we'll make it, and we're talking to him stuff, and they're out there, and they're turning around, they're taxiing down the runway, and he comes on and said, hey, Budbone. He said, we're coming back. I said, I told you need you. He said, well, we're getting taxiing down through here, and this coyote is outrunning us. So we decided to just kind of shut it down. So, but some funny shit, boy.
That's Herbert.
Herbert Terrio.
Yeah.
I wish you could get him on.
Yeah. I've heard a lot about him. His son's a hell of a roper and all around hand, does a lot of that.
Both his sons, yeah. Marcus and.
Yeah, he kicks ass.
Youngest name?
Can't think of it. I'm sorry. I'm old. I'm 71. I forget overnight. But a lot of great guys. Rodeo with me, like I said.
Who won the Bulldog in Houston? Ty Erickson? I didn't pay attention.
Rope Myers is son.
Oh, that's right. I saw that. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Give us real quick. Maybe we know who your number one is, but give us your top 4 greatest of all time that's done it that you've seen do it.
I don't know about his first choice.
Well, give us 4 more.
Well, Myers got to be in the top 5 anywhere you go, but John W.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that I actually got to see Roy Duval. Yeah. And Roy was fantastic, but there's another one. If he'd ever learned how to pull the nose out, we wouldn't have beat him either. Because he just kind of wadded them up a little bit, just a little bit every time. But, I mean, if he'd had clean falls like Tyler Wagasback, we would never beat him. But,
well, I mean, I guess to see is probably the
with his records, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You can't.
I mean, with his records, yeah.
You guys, they got like Luke Blair and Quino. You have Wazapak. You have.
Of course, Luke was after me. Waggy's after me.
They're, I mean, the accolades that those
Joe
guys
Edmondson, he went at once, got beat by $30 or $100 by John W. But I would have paid money to go watch John W. and Byron and even Tyler. I mean, they're just that talented. They just do things so sweet, and I just loved it. I just figured out a way to get him down. I wasn't, fortunate enough to have a great hazer. I guarantee you, not one time. I did NFR 7 times. I don't know how many. I have never looked over in the hazing box. Never looked over.
When you backed from the,
I backed in the corner. When I turned back in the corner, I have never never looked over because I know he was there.
Not even a fuck up where
unless he hollered or
Slow
something.
Joe fucked the gate up a little bit. He might have spin out, but you knew he was going to. You read it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, man.
So he did 90% of your career.
Cool, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have accomplished half of what I accomplished.
They take for granted on like how much a hazer means to a guy.
Well, you can see today. There's lots. Unfortunately, there's lots of missed haze at the NFR.
Mm.
And guys. They just the horses.
Oh, it's so hard to leave that box. It really is.
That horse that we had though.
Box.
Can't even think of his name now. But Hustle Pops. I bought him. We had a really good hazing horse. He dies in Calgary. We got to have a hazing horse. Okay. I got another one because we had 2 rigs. So I got another one. He's pretty decent, but he's all right. He's not. So this friend of mine, Noni Cornett, down in Alva, Texas, south of Houston, he's got this hazing horse. We've known him. We've watched him. Jeff's rode him. And we've tried to buy him a couple of times. And he never would sell him because he had another younger horse, bulldog horse, that he didn't want to split the team up. He just wanted. So we get back from Calgary and get down there and whatever, and he calls him at Napa or whatever. And Jeff comes up to me. He said, I finally got old Hustle Pops. I said, great. He said, but I had to buy the bulldog horse too. So, and I didn't really like the bulldog. He was all right. He could run. So we get back from coming back from Salinas. Herbert and Steve and them, they're driving my truck. It catches on fire. Got to get the horses out and everything. But they get to Cheyenne finally. So I fly to Tulsa. Mike Bailey sends a guy up there to get me. We take a ride back to his dealership there at Okmulgee. He hands me the keys to a brand new Chevy. I get in and drive it to Texas. I borrow a trailer from Byron Walker. Drive to Alva, load them 2 horses up, come back to Weatherford. The rodeo's going on there. There's a friend of mine's got a trailer. He needs to get to Cheyenne. So we give trailer back to Byron and then load them up in this other trailer, and we drive to Cheyenne. I'm doing all this in one day nearly. I slept in the front seat of that truck. But for Mike to hand us them keys, he said, we'll settle up later.
That's awesome.
But then we bought that horse, and then Hustle Pops. I mean, like I said, he had 70 runs.
Wow.
At the NFR and did not miss one haze.
Wow. What's even like today, how much are hazing horses? I mean, can a haze horse be a bulldog and horse or vice versa? Can they do both?
A lot of guys will start them hazing and then go to bulldogging on them.
But is there like a high, is that a big deal? Like,
unfortunately, the guys, they think they can just go buy an average horse for a hazing horse.
That's what I mean.
Tommy Purrier said, not Tommy, but Danny Torsellis. Just all you got to have is a horse that'll score. Okay? You're going to win on a steer that ain't going to run much.
Yeah.
But occasionally you can make one better by hazing horse.
Getting in front of them.
The hazing horse is the best horse in the rodeo business. I'm talking about barrels, heeling, heading, whatever. He's got to be able to flat ass stand there and leave like a shot dog.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to be able to move sideways or laterally. He's got to be able to shut down to keep the steer from going behind you or whatever, and accelerate to keep the horse from cutting you off.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
He's got to be the most athletic, talented horse there is.
I can see that.
So if you get a good hazer, good horse, average bulldog horse, you win a lot of money.
I'd come way more close to agreeing to that than
Byron Walker.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, we fortunately, Moondog, he was great. He was beautiful. Beautiful horse.
That's cool. Man, that's awesome. Good years. Good.
Yeah.
Very good years.
Yeah.
Got to win some very, very good rodeos. Got to be participating.
Yeah. Some
lots of them.
historic
got to put
events.
I put 5 schools on in New York, Staten Island.
Awesome.
Got to do 2 schools in Brazil.
Oh.
Schools in Canada. Washington, California. I'm saying coast to coast, border to border.
That's way cool, man.
Oh, I loved it.
Staten Island.
Staten Island.
That is cool.
Yeah,
It
went
was
up there
just-
5 years.
That is cool. Never would have thought.
Yeah, it filled up every year.
Huh.
And just amazing guys that would show up. And
Greg
I
Bennett?
had a linebacker show up that was a New York Jet. Of course, that's not saying much, but and it must have been because he wouldn't come back to the 3rd day.
No.
He had
couldn't
Greg
handle
Bennett
it.
come years from up there. He bulldogs good. He's my age.
this would have been
No, he'd been too young.
mid-'80s, mid-late 80s. What was the guy's name from that big IRA guy? He was going up there for years, but then he quit going or some Skip Akers.
Yeah, Skip Akers.
He was probably one of the top 5 bulldogs ever too.
Oh, put him on the Mount Rushmore.
That boy could bulldog.
How about team rovers? I want to see your team rovers now. No, that's funny.
Oh, you got his speed, Jake.
Yeah.
As far as heading,
Did Ricky Green, was it that at one of those Winston Cups when he, remember the ice figurines? It was United. Was it a plane? And he came in there and he
He whipped it or something and got on top of
got
it.
down and rode it. telling me the story about that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Ricky Green still bless his heart. Hats off right now.
I think
yeah.
Al Bockius told that story on a podcast. It was funny. Yeah, he just told it.
That, and they were also telling me that they had the line where you went through and it was Mexican night. So there's this big old tin deal of refried beans.
And he scoops
And
it.
all the execs are there. He reached in there, scoop, and he just pat him on the back. Hey, thanks.
That's Ricky.
Crazy.
Yeah, our Copenhagen Skull team's dwindling.
As far as passing off.
Yeah, Lane, Pickles.
Lane,
Oh.
Mark Arnold, Lane Frost, Mark Arnold, Randy Vaughn, Chico.
Mark Arnold, wasn't he from Arizona?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're.
And Roy Cooper.
He told me one
Roy
time.
Cooper.
I can stand flat-footed right here and kick you in your face. I was just a kid. That was about 1993 or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Pickles. I can stand flat-footed and kick you in your face.
Yeah. No, they farmed over,
I
in
didn't barely
town.
know him.
Mhm.
Never-
I know some of his kinfolk.
Yeah, he's great. Mark Arnold, of course. Mark headed for Ricky, and then they split up, and then Doyle started heading for Ricky.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we had chose Kelly Yates as our barrel racer, but she got hit that barrel before it happened, so we ended up getting the girl out of Oklahoma. Gosh, sorry, girl. I'll think of it in a second.
Okay.
But anyway, she filled in for her. So Renee Ward. Sorry, Renee. I'm 71, but she's a great gal. Good ride. Of course, her daddy. Yuri.
Yeah.
Trained a lot of futurity horses.
Well, man, that's a great visit. That's a guy. That's good history, good stories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My friend Mudbone, Gary Green,
yeah, appreciate you coming on. And
largest hands in the United States.
He has the biggest hands, I'm
There's
sure.
a huge chance it was big palm.
Yeah, no,
I want his other toe. If
Never
you
hit him.
get one, I want the other one
Never hit a man with it.
because I want to make a saddle horn out of it too. Bone would be something to remember you by.
Yeah, I'll take a thumb. I mean, whatever I get.
He don't care. His wife, said his wife's a nurse, so we can get.
Yeah.
The one toe has gotten substantially bigger than it used to be when Steve saw it, because I dropped a motorhome tray out of the side, and dropped it on it. It smashed it like a pecan.
Oh fuck!
Alley-oop.
I split it in like 8 different cracks.
Oh fuck that!
And now it's,
It looked like a bowling ball could hit on it and not hurt it.
yeah, this one hit hard.
No, well, I just when I heard you on a lot of them guys think real highly of you. You were,
Yeah,
like I
right.
said, you were brought up in multiple podcasts, and you were in the mix, and that's something to be proud of, especially with coming out of those guys' mouth. The accolades they gave you and the horses that you had. So
We appreciate not only myself, but my brother too. We appreciate every guy that ever rode a
Yeah.
horse and won money on our horses and was able to keep us going, enjoying the rodeo lifestyle and stuff like that.
Shout out to Jeff Green. Come see us, Wickenburg. Come on.
He was out here last Christmas.
I know. I remember I
Or
saw
his-
him.
his daughter
Party
was-
was the Jonies that night.
Yeah. And his daughter just got married today.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Shout out to Sam.
What's Bone going to be doing in 5 years?
I hope he's still roping.
Same thing.
Yeah.
that'll be
Enjoying
76.
enjoying
Hell
this
yeah.
weather and I stay pretty fit. I've been
Yeah.
fortunate enough to a friend of mine at rodeo with us in the pro tours and stuff. Steve Smith, he's been able to let me ride a lot of head horses this winter and help him and his boy and so I'm going to get to stay pretty good in shape, running 20-25 a day, and my shoulders need some work. I'm fixing to get 2 knee replacements, so hopefully I'll be bionic here in another year.
Well, yeah.
Then maybe we'll come back then again and ask you about the top 5 bulldoggers. After you know, stuff.
Well, we
But I-
appreciate it. Never did.
I didn't get them all finished, but there's lots of great ones out there. But
Yeah.
My friend Bone, thank you.
Yep. Thank
thank
you.
y'all, appreciate it.